welcome back to Artfully Organized. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at all of the hidden parts of the art room that you need to artfully organize. This includes curriculum, vocabulary, learning targets, objectives, and more. Keeping these items organized will help you troubleshoot when things don't go quite as expected, which we know happens nearly every day. How you organize your units and lessons is important, so let's take a look at our best ideas for organizing your curriculum. Hi, I'm Paula and I'm an art teacher in Maryland. Welcome to the Art of Education University's Artfully Organized, where we provide tips, tricks, and hacks to help bring order to your art room, while also addressing some of the challenges and complexities that come with art room organization. We'd love for you to like this video if you enjoy it, and to hit subscribe so you don't miss a future episode. So this is how I have my learning objectives displayed. In the front of my room, I have one board for each grade level, and within each grade level, there are visuals and objectives that relate to whatever project they are currently working on. So as you can see, I have some pictures of artists' work that we're looking at for inspiration, biographies, visual references of anything that we're using, as well as pictures of student exemplars. My favorite part of this is our objectives. I have these plastic sleeve protectors, and what I've done is I've actually printed all of my objectives already. I have my objectives written in English and in Spanish because I teach at a two-way immersion school. I also have the title of the project and the day number in the corner. So every morning I come in and I see where students are for different projects, and I just flip to whatever day it is that we're on, and then I just slide it right back into that sheet protector. I currently teach at a two-way immersion school. This means all of our instruction is in both English and in Spanish. To help facilitate learning, I have all of my objectives, material labels, directions, and more written in both English and in Spanish. As you can see behind me, I even have my Elements of Art posters, which many of you have seen before, and I created my own Elementos de Arte posters right next to it. If you teach multilingual language learners, I highly recommend incorporating multiple languages in your instruction and the curriculum resources that you're sharing and providing with your students.
One thing I like to do in the classroom is have step-by-step directions on where we're going to go for our project.
For even more information and resources on how to organize your curriculum, facilitated by knowledgeable instructors, enroll in one of our many graduate courses, such as Designing Your Art Curriculum. Click on the link in the description box below for more information.
All right, so here you have it, the very intimidating, overwhelming learning target wall. Dum dum dum. Although this looks like a lot of information happening in a very small space, it's a really great way for me to organize where students are at in each unit, in each project, and also what learning targets I want them to really focus on for that day. I just wanted to share with you kind of how I lay out units. So I lay them out kind of like how we have our standards. We have like connect, make, create, respond, and present. And I kind of lay out each unit in that way, and each section is kind of connected to that part of the standards. So for example, the connecting for this particular unit would be students went and researched different tribes and different pottery techniques, coil techniques from those different tribes. I primarily used the tribal websites. They have really wonderful resources. And then they also researched some contemporary artists, and then they were doing a compare and contrast to kind of share the differences between those two styles and some similarities. And then they did a final sketch here of what they thought they would do for their final coil pot. And I love this handout from the Art of Ed in one of their coil lessons, where they kind of share the different types of coil techniques. A really great example for students to get some ideas in the packet.
This is the wall at the front of my classroom, and there are a couple of things that I want to highlight on this wall. When we first talk about a vocab word in art, my students will race to find that word on our vocab wall, and then we will reference that word again and again throughout our lesson.
This is how I organize my class folders. So I have a folder for every single class that I teach, and I keep them all in this bin. So in this bin, there's a file for every day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So when I come in, for example, Monday morning, I'm gonna take out all of my folders for all of my classes that I teach on Monday. They're already in order, and I just put them here on my clipboard. And during art, I'm able to use this folder and walk around. On the front of this folder is a seating chart, so I'm able to write students' names. I can also write students' correct pronunciation of their name or preferred pronouns on here so I can remember. There's also a place that I have to keep track of student absences and any other notes. The great thing about this is that I've put a laminate sheet, I've stapled it to the top of each folder, so I'm able to use a transparency marker, and during art, I'm able to walk around and take notes. So I can write a quick observation, do participation points, or even just do grading by walking around. And the great thing with the transparency marker, when I'm done with it, I just wipe it all off. Inside the folders, I keep all of our grades, learning objectives, curriculum standards, and things in here. So it's just a great way to consolidate all of my curriculum for my classes in one easy place.
Over here we have where I write my objectives and I put up project examples. You can see my Google Classroom code is there so the students know exactly what we're doing every day.
If you don't know where to start with your curriculum because you're unsure of what makes a strong and engaging curriculum, we've got you covered. To start, read the article in the description box below. What to look for in an art curriculum.
I also have my student objectives posted at the front of the room so that my students can always reference these quickly and get themselves on track with what we are doing throughout the day. You'll notice that I'm using grade appropriate language in my learning targets according to the reading capabilities of each student. And I also highlight all of our vocabulary words so that they stand out for my students.
So this is how I organize all of my curriculum. So I have these 2 bins, and inside each bin is an accordion folder. And each accordion folder is for a different grade level. So I have one for kinder, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So as you can see, they're pretty big and they're also color coded. So if I open up these accordion folders, inside each folder are individual plastic envelopes, and each envelope is a different lesson or unit that grade level works on. So I have really loved using this method because it keeps everything organized and in one space. I used to use a filing cabinet, but found that things would fall out or get bent. So by using these plastic folders, everything's able to stay safe in just one space. And it's really helped me keep all of my lesson plans, handouts, resources, exemplars in just one easy place to find.
All right, y'all, welcome to my art room tour. As you enter, you can see the learning targets board, and I'm keeping it pretty simple by just writing some drawings and what each grade level is working on.
I wanted to share with you how I keep my brain organized as a traveling teacher as far as planning what I'm doing. I keep all of my links and timeline and everything in this Google slide to help me keep each grade organized. So I teach kindergarten through 4th grade. I have links and I have just like bullet points of what each grade is doing in one cycle. So once I have everything in my digital planner kind of planned out for the next couple of cycles, it's easy to go into that digital planner and pull that information and put it into my virtual classroom. I know it's like so much technology, but honestly, this is just what's worked for me.
Hey, art teachers! That wraps up our episode on curriculum. If you have tips for organizing learning targets, vocabulary walls, objectives, and more, we'd love to hear them in the comments below. Be sure that you're subscribed and have your notifications turned on for our last episode. We're going to be talking about ways to organize activities for early finishers and work for absent students. Stay tuned.